Hey. Yeah, I think this is working. There's nobody here yet, but I guess this is also going to be saved, so I'll just crack on. Hi, my name's Phil. I'm here on behalf of the Student Circle. I hope everyone's well, dealing with the lockdown okay. So the Student Circle is basically a student body within the Sandberg that looks to complicate and deepen the relationship the students have with the course, the school, but also, I think, probably most importantly, each other. We work at the level of the students, so we don't defer to the school. We have our own budget, but what it does mean is that we work within, the things that we can essentially do ourselves, right, affect ourselves. So recently we've been thinking about the COVID response, and this is what I'm here to talk to you all about. More specifically about thinking about administering within the pandemic, like how you administer stuff, how you provide care within the pandemic, how to distribute and organize within the isolated conditions, and particularly how we do all of these things when we don't know how long it's going to go on for. And also, because we can't see people, how do we do this in a way that doesn't allow people to fall through the net when we can't see that they need any help, right? One answer to this that we've been kind of thinking through is to make all the support universally available, at the same time as just spamming you all about about what's happening, right? So just use every form of communication to make sure everyone knows which support is available when they need it, and how to get access to it, right? So this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 4 weeks, for 10, 15 minutes, or I guess. I'm just going to be going through stuff that's happening. But also sharing some thoughts about the situation that we find ourselves in, some stuff that we've been thinking about, some ways in which that maybe we think we can alleviate stuff, and then also just some top tips, right? Because I think, everybody's figuring stuff out now. And the kind of simple stuff really helps, I guess. So, all right, the first thing that we've been organizing is a shop and drop scheme. So the idea is essentially that if anybody is stuck in the house because they're ill, because they've started experiencing symptoms and had to quarantine themselves, or they're part of a particularly vulnerable group because of pre-existing health conditions, or even that they're just too anxious to leave the house. We've been kind of mapping out the city with volunteers who are happy to basically just go and do the shopping for people so that they do have food. If you need any help, let us know. We take emails at student.circle.sandberg@gmail.com. This email will be on the website, the Sandberg website. So please do get in touch. Also, if you want to volunteer, let us know. We've had a good turnout so far, but there's still lots of parts of the city that we need to cover, particularly as I guess students tend to live in a particular certain group of places, right? We're going to try and do something soon with something similar with a tool drop. So the idea being that we'll bring tools around to people so they can fix their bike, keep them on their bike off public transport for those necessary journeys that you have to do, right? And then finally, we're going to be trying to set up some sort of system whereby people who are in isolation, bored, anxious, in need of taking phone calls can ring people up. So we're looking for volunteers for that as well. This is something that we're going to be, I think, kind of organizing with Unsettling, right? They've tailored their program towards the COVID response and have a session coming up about loss, grief, and uncertainty in the time of COVID-19 with Camilla Barton on the 9th and 16th. This seems like just a really, really important topic moving forwards. They're also holding station hours. So if you want to chat, if you want to talk about an issue that you're having, anything like that, every Thursday they're going to be available from 10 to 3. I think the way they're doing it is that you email them, they send you the Zoom link, and then you can just drop in and chat during those hours. Check that out. That's up on the website. Both ourselves and Unsettling are looking for volunteers. So if anybody wants to help, let us know. We're doing, this will be for for the food cycles, for the shops, but also for phone calls. And the phone calls we're going to try and keep in everybody's first language. So it would be great to get as many people as possible to make that kind of happen. Also, lending tools would be really great, and people who are happy to take them out to people, that would be absolutely fantastic. We're also working with the Student Council. They've produced a really fantastic short guide and resources for international students, artists and art workers in the Netherlands. That's also on the website, full of super useful information. And no doubt they'll be doing all sorts of important stuff soon. Just keep running through things. The Glass Pavilion's gone online. This will be an experimental platform where to share sounds, texts, images, videos, links, etc. during these times when it seems like the physical space will be temporarily replaced by the virtual. So they're asking for students who are interested in collaborating, sending stuff in for them, and I think they're taking emails about that kind of stuff at pavilion@rietveldacademy.nl. It's also going up on the site under the post COVID-19 button, which is something that I'm going to be helping Public Sandberg run, which is going to be a kind of resource library, and it's up on the site, to the left. The hope is to kind of collate our own responses, but then also responses from other institutions. We'll have guides, open calls, news about what's happening within art institutions and virtual festivals, resource libraries to help people keep entertained. There'll be a number of responses and editorials from writers, poets, and artists up there. There's a 2 blog posts from Anne Boyer up there right now, which are really great. She's always fantastic, and then she kind of writes a lot about healthcare. So it's she's a kind of important person to look to, I think, at a time like this. There'll also be a text, I think, hopefully going up today by Preciado, which was written after he contracted the virus, and he kind of writes through a kind of fever dream, like a hyperbolic account of what the world could become. So as to kind of think about unrequited love and the kind of social guard, the ways in which we kind of guard ourselves from those people who we maybe love but don't love us, and maybe how ridiculous they seem in a time of isolation. And then there's also going to be a podcast check-in with Samuel Delaney, hopefully going up to date, which was from the 30th of March, I think. So dead recently, and it was also the day before his birthday, so it was nice to check in. Also on the public, on the post-COVID-19, there's going to be there's a quarantine chat, which is a app where you can get in touch with people who are stuck in the house. It's kind of random, and it sends you on to people. So that might be something you are all interested in. Though, like I say, Unsettling ourselves are going to try and provide something internally, which hopefully will be kind of fairly comprehensive. We'll see. And there's a bunch of other stuff up there. It'll be added periodically. That's basically the run through for all of the stuff that I had internally. But I wanted to give you some of my own top tips. This is my favorite cookbook. Oh, is it? Oh, it is the right way around. And there's a recipe in here that, I don't know, maybe a lot of people have heard about it because it's doing the rounds on the internet. It has been for quite a long time. This book is super cute. It's full of these incredible descriptions of where the meals come from and all this kind of stuff. But this is a perfect quarantine meal because it's got 5 ingredients, and all of them are stuff that you just have in the house. So it's stuff that you can keep for a long period of time. So it's a tin of tomatoes, 1 onion, some butter, pasta, dried, and then salt. Right. So I'm going to read it to you. Tomato sauce with onion and butter. This is the simplest of all sauces to make, and none has a purer, more irresistible sweet tomato taste. I have known people to skip the pasta and eat the sauce directly out of the pot with a spoon. So, you need a tin, it says 500 grams of tinned tomatoes, cut with their juices, 75 grams of butter. I mean, this is serving 6, so yeah, I don't know if you'll be hanging out with 6 people at this point, but still. 1 medium onion peeled and cut in half, salt, and then 450 to 675 pasta, and then parmesan if you want it, right? It's super simple. You basically put either the prepared fresh tomatoes or the tinned tomatoes in a saucepan, add the butter, onion, and salt, and cook uncovered at a very slow but steady simmer for 45 minutes, or until the fat floats free from the tomatoes. Stir from time to time, mashing any large pieces of tomato in the pan with the back of a wooden spoon. Taste and correct for salt, and then you just eat it, right? Have it with some spaghetti. It's real good. So the last thing I wanted to do, I'm not sure how I find out how long this has been going on for. 12 minutes, I guess. One of the things I've been thinking a lot about, because I also work with a fine art course and here, so I've been doing a lot of Skype sessions with people, and also Skype sessions with students. And it just seems that there's this strange thing happening where everybody's, desperate for social interaction. At the same time, it's completely exhausted of Skype and Zoom and video calls. And I guess I've been trying to think about how much of that is to do with our habits around video calling, and how often they're just treated as meetings, right? So everything has to be about the information that's being gotten out of the meeting. It's so hard to just kind of hang out, and there's this thing where everybody's super uncomfortable with silence. So I thought I was just going to spend the last 6 minutes just sitting in silence with everyone. So this is an invitation to join us. I mean, you're here, so you're already joining us, but this is an invitation to join us in 6 minutes or so of silence. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, I think I got to leave because it's coming up to the 20-minute mark. Yeah, I hope the silence wasn't too exhausting and awkward. But I just think that we've got to figure this out, you know. So maybe, maybe just spend some time with your pals on Zoom, not talking to each other. That's what I've got to say. Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye.